people have asked about how to preserve watercolours on canvas, and one of the methods is using, can we see this, Dorland's wax. It's an American product, and I thought I'd just show you how I use it. The bump says that it is a translucent compound of waxes and resin, and it's actually for oil painting and encaustic painting. Comes in two sizes, that's the 4 ounce little one, and that's a 16 ounce. As you can see, I've almost finished that, and by mistake I ordered the little one. Ooh, oh well. This is painting that I've done on canvas, and you need to seal it in some way because it's so fragile. So using Dorland's wax, you can get a really lovely sheen. All you do is take a squidge of the stuff out and literally rub it in. If you want, you can actually seal your painting first to make sure it doesn't shift at all, but I've never had a problem with it shifting using this because it's wax, not water. So up to you. I just rub it in and I use my fingers, as you can see. If you don't like the feel of it, which is fair enough, you can of course use a lint-free cloth. You need to do the edges as well. So again, just rub it in like that. Once you feel your fingers sort of dragging on the surface, you do need to use more. So you're not using a huge amount, and it is expensive, so you won't want to do that. But equally well, there's no point not using enough. So when you feel, say, your fingers or the cloth starting to drag on the surface, use a little bit more. And because this is highly textured, I'm going to rub it in a slight circular motion just to make sure it gets in those crevices. So there we go. That's all covered because it's just a little painting. I'm doing, that feels a little bit like it needed some more there. A little bit more. Yep, that feels good. Just double check those sides. Yep, that's fine. So there's my peacock. Now you've got to wait, and depending how thick you put it on, you might have to wait 24 to 48 hours for it to dry. Once it's dry, I'll buff it and it'll come up to a lovely sheen. So I'll pause for now and see you in 48 hours. Hello, welcome back. 48 hours later, here's my peacock and it's all dried. So now I've just got a cloth, a polishing cloth, lint free, or you certainly don't want anything fluffy that's going to stick in the wax. And you just start to buff. Don't know if you can see that. You just gently buff the wax all over the piece and basically polish it, and you can feel the difference between, say, here where it's unpolished and here where it's polished. If you haven't left it to dry long enough, you'll find the wax is wet and will come off on your cloth, and if you find a big lump on your cloth, you definitely just need to leave it to wait a bit longer and dry out. But this has been in my conservatory on a couple of very warm days, and it should be properly dry. So I'm just buffing away here, little circular motion, and it just comes up to a sort of nice smooth finish. If I hadn't got such a textured background, you would actually see a lot more of that sheen, but I did this painting using tissue paper, sticking tissue paper onto the canvas and then putting watercolour ground on top to get this lovely sort of textured, crevicey sort of effect. And that frankly, it's that. I'll do the rest of the side in a moment. If I had a strong directional light, you might be able to see a bit of a sheen to it. But I haven't, so you can't. It's really nice. Definitely not shiny, just a little bit of sheen, and gives a sort of richness to the colour, which I really like. You could, if you wanted more of a sheen, do exactly the same process over the top. So put another layer, another 48 hours, buff it up again, you'll get a deeper sheen. But I think that's going a bit over the top for this. So that's it. Dorland's wax, really lovely product. There are other waxes available. The ones that you can get that are UK produced are really high in solvents and smell a lot. So personally, I don't particularly like using those, and I certainly wouldn't put them on with my fingers, but there are other waxes available. Dorland's just is the nicest one I've found.